I am impressed. Like they stayed true to the lore, the whole the thing 1, 2, and 3,
Mm-hmm.
and having cameos. The purpose of having Flea makes kind of sense because you need that weird guy,
That sinister, weird, quirky
guy,
everything that Flea basically ever plays on television and movies.
and the surprise ending of episode 2.
Yeah. I think in this case, this feels more a better Where Are They Now than
Right.
like say the Star Wars sequels did.
Right.
Because this feels more true to Obi Wan as a character than like I said Luke was in the sequels. I could see to a point him maybe losing his skills, sitting there in the desert like he is. Obviously, we know what he eventually becomes. In like Star Wars Rebels when he battles Darth Maul later on, or just Maul later on. But racked by the guilt and now the realization that Anakin is still alive. That's going to set up probably some kind of a confrontation between the two of them here at some point. Obviously, It doesn't get resolved, but it adds new gravitas to when they meet in Episode 4 in New Hope.
Facts.
Yeah, no, I think we're off to a good start with this. I'm curious to see where it goes. Again, this is only 6 episodes, so we're one third of the way through this already.
Right. Maybe they may have the Mandalorian make an appearance. We don't know.
This is 10 years after that. Mando would be a kid in this case, I think. Right now, again, as far as basically some of the old Jedi that were out there, Quinlan Vos, I think, is still alive. Special thanks to Dave Filoni. They did give credit there in this case.
Right.
But I think this is, like I said, truer to the Star Wars mythos than the sequels were. And maybe they took a lesson from the sequels. Right. And they looked at it and it's like, okay, well, how do we make this better? But again, this is about Obi-Wan getting his skill set back after being in isolation for 10 years. Okay. And rattled with a ton of guilt. And obviously he very clearly will. So,
right.
But yeah, I'm impressed right now. I wasn't sure if I was going to be, but I am.
Yeah, I wasn't either until I saw this episode. And by far, they did everything to the T. The whole him being isolated, he don't want to be considered a Jedi at the moment. Him being a butcher, slicing meat, taking meat.
Dude, you just don't imagine Obi-Wan Kenobi having a job.
Right.
A 9-to-5 kind of a gig there. For me, like I said, I was raised on the original trilogy. I was 7 years old when Return of the Jedi came out. So I was raised on Alec Guinness as my Obi-Wan.
Gotcha.
But seeing what Ewan McGregor has brought to the character in the 3 prequel movies, and I was already in my 20s and eventually late 20s by episode 3. Ewan McGregor is my Obi-Wan, not Alec Guinness. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that Alec Guinness hated Star Wars, and I think Ewan McGregor loves it. And I think that love and that energy, that embrace of the character comes out so much in portraying this character again for the first time in so long.
Right, and you could tell, like, when you love something, you're going to give your 190% of your time and energy just to make sure that the audience is satisfied, and that's the main goal.